What's up, guys? This is Titan Lifestyle. This is Big Drew. I'm back. Yep, that's Friday. Once again, 2 p.m. I do this every week, Eastern time. So people out in the West or Midwest, I heard a guy last week say I always miss the live. It's 2 p.m. But for some reason, they thought we were in L.A. But Titan Medical, we're out of Tampa, Florida. So we start at 2 p.m. every week. I want to see who's jumping on right away. But Titan Lifestyle, today we're going to talk about questions and answered, my favorite part. So get your questions ready. I'll see them as they come up on all the screens in front of me. Therapy of the week. We always pick out a specific topic that we talk about. Titan therapy every week, what it does and what are the benefits of it or of them. Sometimes it's a combo deal. And then I'm also going to pick out a topic. And then last, we're going to go over some Titan events. We have a big event 2 weeks from tomorrow, big fashion show. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But first and foremost, let's get some shout outs. We got Kaidi, we got Indian Bodybuilding just joined. We got Yaro Sama, YG Lee. What's up to YG Lee? I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, it's been a while. YG's saying that the setup is a little bit different. If you look at, I have people tuning in on Titan Medical's social medias. Those are all on the big screens. And then I have my phone over in the corner. But if you guys go to my actual Instagram, you can see like the actual setup. It's just one part of it. You could actually see me a little bit behind the scenes. There's more to it. There's a whole desk and a whole other setup over there. He's doing all the media stuff. All I do is just do what I do. I don't know how to do any of that stuff, but shout out to my boy Brian for always holding it down and hooking up the graphics and all that stuff. Again, I have no clue. So all I do is sit here and do what I do. He has everything set up for me. He has the 2 phones set up for me. He's got the TVs and everything set up, the lighting, just how I like it. So yeah, it's a different look today. Let me know if you like it from my screen. And I'll do it that every week, or maybe I'll just do different angles, let you see different angles of the media room. That's where I'm at right now. But yes, YG Lee, I didn't know you guys had a second page. I was wondering where you guys were. Yeah, well, the other page was down for a little bit. We're doing some editing stuff on the other page, so it was down for a little bit. But both pages are up now. Titan Medical on Instagram and Titan Medical 2.0 on Instagram. That's like the backup page. But yeah, it's always good to follow both of those, check in with both of those. If one's down, just check the other one. So it's another added benefit we have here is we have 2 different pages. So a lot of places, one site's down, they have to rely on YouTube and all that. We actually have a secondary page. So yes, Titan Medical 2.0, hit that and follow them right now. We'll check you out as well. Wolverine is the deal. Therapy of the week this week. See my boy Michael Hearn on there looking shredded as ever. Wolverine, the deal is BPC-157 and TB-500 for $500. So you're getting both of those for $500. You're going to save about $100. And the sale ends today. So you might want to jump on that ASAP. Today is the 6th. I believe it's the 6th. I hope it's the 6th. But today sale ends today. But again, you're going to save $100. What is BPC and TB-500? It's a healing stack. It's actually going to help your connective tissue and ligaments rather than just numb the pain. So if you have elbow pain, knee pain, any type of joint pain, it's going to actually fix the problem rather than just take the pain away. So obviously, if it fixes the problem, the pain goes away. You don't have to worry about masking the pain. So a benefit to doing this as opposed to maybe ibuprofen or acetaminophen, or even going as far as taking nandrolone, which is people call it DECA, which has other problems, other side effects. The benefit with this is it's actually fixing the problem. Those other things, yeah, I take this for my elbow or my knee, and it makes the pain go away. It's masking the pain, it's not helping it. So what happens is you become dependent on those medications to mask your pain, and then what happens, you take them, you need them to function, and if you stop taking them, the pain comes right back because it wasn't fixed. Our stuff fixes the pain, so once it's fixed, it's not going to come back. So best way to look at it is, because I talk to people about this every day, the benefits of injectables versus orals and all this stuff, and because there's always faster ways to take pain away, but they're not necessarily better ways to take pain away. It's kind of like if you have a headache, don't just take a painkiller, figure out what's causing your headache, whether it be blood pressure or this and that. So if you could figure out that, fix that, then you won't have to always rely on medication. So we're not here at Titan Medical. We're not looking to just take your money. We're looking to fix the problem. That's why we don't sell anything that is known as, pain relief. Even though it does take pain away, it fixes the pain. So you're not going to see us over here giving you stuff that numbs the pain, because that's what we don't want. Other places may do that, which means you have to keep coming back over and over again, which may keep getting their money, and you keep still having the same problem. Not over here. First question, Austin Nestline. What's a good estrogen blocker? I've heard DIM isn't strong enough when you're running tests. What's a good substitute? Yeah, DIM's like a new estrogen blocker. People tuning in, or even ladies tuning in, estrogen blockers, the reason why a man would need that, if his testosterone gets too high and estrogen goes up, estrogen-related side effects could be gynecomastia, could be oily skin, mood swings, acne, all estrogen-related, body fat, water retention. But yeah, a good estrogen blocker, I would say, is a anastrozole. Again, everybody is different. So whatever your medical provider tells you to take, that's what I would take. But for me and for people that I've heard of, anastrozole works real well. It's a little bit stronger than tamoxifen, but tamoxifen actually targets the breast tissue more. So if you have sensitive nipples, if you have sore nipples because your estrogen is high, and for some reason the Arimidex, also known as anastrozole, same thing, isn't working, then what you would have to do is then take some Novadex, so it actually targets the breast tissue. Or sometimes you'll see patients where they're prescribed both, where they take one day, one the other day, or however they do it, so it combats both problems. So I would recommend first choice go with anastrozole if your medical provider will prescribe it to you, and also recommend tamoxifen, because tamoxifen works well. Tamoxifen, also known as Novadex. So if you hear people say Novadex, it's tamoxifen. Tamoxifen is the active ingredient, so same thing. How much do I bench? I don't max bench anymore. I just go for more reps. Shout out to Michael Hearn. If you've seen the way he trains, that's kind of how I'm on my training. I've been for a few years now, where everything is slow and controlled. Yes, I lift a lot heavier than the average person, but I'm not looking to necessarily max out bench. I've got YouTube videos benching 6 plates before and doing 315 for 35 reps and all that stuff. But right now, I just keep it at 405. Strict form, rep it out, and get a good squeeze. But I can go up 5 if I need to, but again, I don't see the point in it. It's not really going to cause my muscle to grow anymore. Only thing it's going to put more stress on my ligaments and my elbows and everything like that. So if you want to change your body, the shape of your body, you don't necessarily have to max out all the time. You could do it every once in a while to see, but as you get older, you realize that maxing out is just an ego thing, and you can get more growth and more tissue out of quality lifting than just 1 reps to get a bunch of views on YouTube. Happy Friday to Romans Loft. Ahmed Faraz is asking where I'm from right now. We're Florida. YG Lee, have you heard of mouth taping? It's supposed to give you deeper sleep. That's crazy. Is that real? Or I know it's not April Fool, but mouth taping? I'm assuming you're taping your mouth shut. Give me some details about that. I haven't heard anything about it. Mouth tapping or mouth taping, I'm not sure what that is. YG Lee says, while on clomiphene, my testosterone now 878 and free T is 22.6. I feel how a 24-year-old is supposed to feel. Thank you, Titan Medical. So definitely shout out to YG Lee. He's been a long-time listener, long-time tuning in guy. He was even watching before he was young enough to get the stuff, so he's getting it out now. He says his test is 878, which is optimal, which is where you want to be. So whether someone's 1,500 plus, which is too high, or 200, 300, which is too low, he's exactly where he wants to be. And his free test is 22.6. So and he's 22 years old, so that's exactly where a 22-year-old should be. So I'm glad we optimize your health, and yeah, we should keep taking that stuff, and we'll be ready to go. Demigod Tyrant Spire says, does masturbation have any effect on health? Is it bad? It's kind of a crazy question. A lot of times if people see that, they'll kind of skip over, oh, what are you talking about? But it is important because, I mean, there's so many different articles that say it is, that say it's healthy. Some people says it's not. Some things say it's healthy mentally, but it's unhealthy I mean, it's healthy physically, but unhealthy mentally to do that. But again, I really don't know. You are losing a little bit of testosterone if you're, obviously. But at the same time, I really don't see good or bad in my opinion. I don't think it's helping or hurting anything within reason. Um, I'm 44. I have to go down a little bit. There it is. I'm 44. What should be your levels? If you're 44 years old, your testosterone level should usually be to get it up. It might decline because of age and because with food and everything now, and it's not like it was 40, 50 years ago where the average man had higher testosterone because the food was more organic and less processed. The processed food and all the stuff in the food is what is making men's testosterone decline so fast. But again, at 44 years old, you should be about 800, 8 to 900. Just like before, YG Lee, he's 22 years old. He's at an 878. So naturally, if your testosterone declines, once you get to be 40, 50, it might be lower than that. So we can bring it up to optimal. Again, you don't want to go over 1,000, 12, 1,300. And if you are over that, when we get your blood work and we see it, we're not going to prescribe you testosterone if you're over 1,500 milligrams. I mean, at that point, your body is overloaded with testosterone. We've had people come in here and be like, the testosterone level is 2,500, 3,000 and all this. It says 1,500 plus certain places, but other places will actually give you the exact number. And some of the numbers are ridiculously high, and people are like, oh, I'm not on anything. Come on. Like, you're wasting your money getting a blood test, trying to get something if you're on everything, because I don't care what the last place did. We don't do that over here. So if your levels are not showing, you're not getting anything, whether it be oxandrolone or anything. You're not getting anything unless your levels show that, or unless certain things that we have here at Titan Medical you don't need blood work for as well. What do you think about TRT? What do you recommend? I think TRT is great if it's needed. Again, if you get your blood work done, your testosterone is real low, then it's needed. I feel like it would be needed. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I would recommend it if your test is low through blood work to go with HRT. They're also asking, is it bad to use HGH, which is human growth hormone? We don't prescribe that here at Titan Medical. I know a lot of the reasons why people take HGH. We have other stuff here at Titan Medical that does similar things, whether it's testosterone or IGF-1, LR3. But yeah, we don't prescribe HGH here. What would you be using your HGH for? And if you tell me that, then I could probably steer you in the direction of something we have that does similar things. YG Lee say eat super clean diet as well as stay in good shape. Yeah, perfect. I'm always impressed by guys older than me or like old guys, I mean, 10, 20, 30 years older than me that still look good and work out. And I'm also just as impressed as kids or younger people that are in their teens or early 20s that are eating clean. When I was in my teens and early 20s, I was eating literally fast food every day. I didn't eat anything organic. Everything was processed. TV dinner this, pizza this, wings that. Always on, I was playing sports, so I was always just practicing, but it didn't matter. I would eat, a bag of Doritos and a 2-liter of Mountain Dew before football practice. Like, I had no clue. So shout out to that. But yeah, so the older you get, the more you have to fight your old age and your body with clean eating. So the older I get, the cleaner I eat. And it's actually working out because I'm leaner now and have less body fat now than I did 10 years ago, which is a good thing. What's considered low? Considered low levels for your testosterone would probably be 400 or anything less. Again, we try to get you to 800 to 900, which is optimal. So if you're half of that, you're on the lower end. And again, if you come in 100 or even below 100, that's extremely low, extremely low. So someone else is saying, what's so bad about 1,500 plus? Not necessarily that there's anything bad about it, but you're not going to get more testosterone. I mean, if 1,500 plus is double what you should be, so in order to qualify for that, you're not going to get any testosterone through Titan. But again, for whatever you're doing, whatever you're doing to make your testosterone 1,500, if it benefits you, I mean, I'm not sure what you do or or anything like that, but it's not necessarily bad. Now, bad side effects from 1500, that would be, bad side effects from 1500 would be, again, high estrogen, water retention, your blood pressure is going to go up a lot. So it does have bad side effects, but and again, you're not going to, it'd be better off figuring out how you're going to treat that 1500 plus symptoms and side effects rather than, try to get more. Does testosterone shots help with fat loss? Eric Simpson, good question. Yes, it actually does help with fat loss. Most of the times people just hear, muscle or recovery or libido, but it actually does help with fat loss. Main thing you have to control is just your diet. If your diet is on point, I feel that if your diet is on point, pretty much you could take anything as long as your diet's on point. Now, may hold a little bit more water with certain things. So if you'd have to manipulate your water, that's another thing. But I feel that if your diet is in check, even MK677, which is like a crazy bulking, you eat all the time and get big and strong off of it, I feel like you could still stay lean off of that. Does obesity decrease testosterone? Yes, it does. It can, not directly, but the factors going around obesity can decrease your testosterone. Again, a lot of people that are obese have high estrogen levels. A lot of women that are obese because women have high estrogen to begin with. Their obesity could be helped, but with HRT. So sometimes women are prescribed testosterone as well because, ladies, you do have testosterone. It's just a lot lower level. So, yeah, I feel that if your diet isn't, everything revolves around diet when it comes to me or my beliefs. So whether you're taking testosterone, MK, or anything, as long as your diet is on point, you figure out the foods that work best for you, you can digest them, you feel good on them, they don't make you feel nauseous, they don't make you feel bloated, you're good, stick with those same foods and you pretty much take whatever. And over time, the fat's going to come off. The problem is you can't compare semaglutide to testosterone. Those are going two different avenues. Semaglutide is strictly weight and fat loss. Testosterone has a slew of other benefits. Rahul Pawali says, "What's up, Big Drew? Someone tell me, bro, we have no wrestle. I don't know what that means." What's that?
I'm reading it too.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means.
Telling you that you shouldn't wrestle bears anymore. I don't know. In other words,
where's my hair? Off. Clean shave. No, we don't ship to India. Yeah, anybody in another country, if you know people here in the U.S., because we get these calls and the messages every day, I wish we could. I wish we shipped international, worldwide. I mean, that would be great. But right now, we're only here in the U.S. So anybody that knows someone in the U.S., say if you have a family member in the U.S., if you have a coworker, anybody you know that you trust in the U.S., we could mail it to them, and then they could mail it to you. We're not cutting any corners. It's not illegal to do that, but we can't actually ship our product out of the U.S. So if you have an address here in the U.S., if you have anything like that, we could ship it there, and then you could, when your package is there, you could figure out whatever way you have to do to pick it up. But so we have plenty of stuff for injuries that'll help you. Plenty of it. Best tip for a guy who works manual labor and trying to gain weight. Perfect question, because when I first got into working out, I was actually roofing. I first got into working out serious in the gym. I had a physique, like I worked out, but I didn't really work out. So once I made the decision, okay, I'm gonna step in this gym, it was like no turning back. From 0 to 100% gym life, 24 hours ever since. But looking back, I did the same thing. I was working roofing every day in Florida. I was on a black roof, like 90 to 100 degrees every day, all day, no shade. I was losing crazy water weight. I'm a heavy sweater, so I was sweating like crazy. I was pounding Gatorade all day long to try to stay hydrated, which made it harder to eat because my stomach was so full from the liquids. It was hard. But what I did, and I don't recommend this, there's other cleaner ways you could do this, but if, depending on your budget and this and that, I would actually literally pack peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day. I would pack like 10, 15 of them every day in my cooler with a bunch of apples and bananas. And I would also I would just eat those all day long, and I would also have pasta like rotini with some cheap ground beef and some cheap sauce. I would make huge pots of that. So I'll just be filling pasta and ground beef, eating that all day, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all day, and then apples and orange and bananas all day long. And I would have huge bowls of just oatmeal on top of oatmeal in between meals. I was like carb loading like crazy because I have a fast metabolism. I was always lean, and being out in the heat for 10, 12 hours a day, it was hard. But the main thing is pound the food and pound the water. And if you're working in the heat, don't drink Gatorade all day long, even though I did, knowing now, going back, I'd probably drink something better quality or even make my own Gatorade, whether it's, take some watermelon, some pink salt and water and just blend it up. But yeah, you have to force the food all day with manual labor. Like if you have a break in between, if you have to go from one job to another, you take a lunch break, pack a huge cooler, bring it with you. Peanut butter jelly sandwiches or just sandwiches in general are great. Obviously chicken and rice, chicken and steak's better, but peanut butter and jelly has protein, it has carbs. If you get some quality jelly, at least you have some, real fruit and simple sugars in there. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. It doesn't have to be cooked. It doesn't necessarily get old or sloppy in Tupperware. So you can pack like literally 10 peanut butter jelly sandwiches every day and just eat those. Get quality peanut butter, all natural peanut butter, get all natural jelly, and find the best bread you can, even though rice is better, we know, and just ride that out. And that's the easiest way. It's easy to get down to. You don't have to sit there and cut it up. So if you're on the job, you can just grab a sandwich and just pound it down real quick, go right back to work. Get a couple gallons of water, frozen, one half frozen, put some salt in there, and keep hydrating and just keep going. And pound the food, pound the water. What's your time zone? We're in Eastern Standard Time. We're in Florida, so Eastern Standard Time. Right now it's 2:28. Like I said earlier, the show starts every week at 2 p.m. Yes, chicken's always a good source of protein. Someone's asking about protein powders as well. Real food is always the best. I don't really do too much poultry. I'm more of a salmon and steak type person. But again, chicken's good too. Good protein content. I like red meat because I feel like it's just a better, cleaner meat with more creatine, zinc, and more benefits. What do you recommend if my doctor wants to prescribe testosterone shots? Then I would recommend testosterone if that's what your doctor's prescribing. Usually they're prescribing it because they're seeing something, your levels are low. But if they're recommending it, then I would definitely. Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's, my test is low and I want to go to Titan to see if I can get some testosterone because I feel off. My test must be low. But if they're recommending it, then clearly they're seeing it's low. Any tips on how to use? I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is. Kabila free stuff. Not sure what that is. Oh, here we go. Turkish stone. Nah, not a fan. It's more one of those like over-the-counter, mimicking other stuff type things. What are you looking to get out of that? And I could tell you, again, something that we have. General HRT will probably do more than that stuff does. That's more so if people don't want to, go through medical provider and all that stuff. But I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, red meat. Red meat's always good. And again, too, if you go steak, because a lot of times people like, whether you had sensitive teeth, sometimes the steak's harder to chew or harder to digest. If you go to your store, doesn't matter where you are in the country, if you buy a steak and you bring it to in the deli, they'll grind it, so they'll make it into ground steak. So it looks like ground beef, but it's ground steak. You do that with rice, you do that with potatoes, you mix it all up, it mixes well, get some sugar-free sauce, boom. It's easy, it's a bowl, you have to sit there and chop it up in a Tupperware and all dry. It stays moist, you can eat it real quick. If you can't do steak, if you can't afford steak, you get ground beef. Get the best ground beef, 96, 92. If you can't do 96, 92, get 85 and drain it out. Just figure out a way to make it work. It's not so much how the food tastes, it's how it goes down, how it digests. So if you can grind your food up a little bit, mix it up, chop it up before you swallow it, it's less it has to do in your stomach to pass. Yes, I do. Brahma Podcasts is asking, yes, I do. You can contact me directly through Titan, or you can go to contact me on my Instagram. Someone was this. My friend is a pure vegetarian. What is the best protein source for her? Let me know. I'm not sure. Vegetarians are tough because they have to eat a lot of like the amount of food they have to eat to get their protein intake is so high. But one thing that's good with vegetarians is lentils. Lentils are very high in protein. They're very high in fiber. They're very cheap and they're easy to cook. They're easy to eat. Just like I said, you can mix them in with your rice and they're easy to, like, you don't even really have to chew them once they're cooked. It just mushes down. So get a bag of lentils. They look like really, really small beans. Put them in some boiling water, and that's good. That's good protein right there. Good fiber too. I recommend that to anybody who has problems using the bathroom or digestion's off as well. Some lentils, add a couple tablespoons, even if you're not using it for the protein with each meal. It's going to help you digest a lot better. Another person saying they prefer beef as well. So yeah, it used to be chicken, rice. Now people are staying away from broccoli because of the bloat, and they're staying away from chicken because of the bloat. With me, my stomach, it doesn't sit right with chicken. I feel bloated. I'm sensitive to it. So when I do chicken, broccoli, rice, on paper, it looks like the best thing, but I got like the turtle shell. My abs are sticking out. It's all bloated. It looks weird. I don't like it. Best way to boost tests, HRT. Again, boost test. I don't necessarily, you can boost tests, but I feel like that word boost is kind of like overused because of all the magazines where you test boosters and boost. They don't necessarily boost. Even Tribulus, which is an all-natural quote, supposed to boost your testosterone, it'll raise it a little bit, but it's not going to boost it. Best way to boost it is obviously HRT, whether it's testosterone cypionate or enclomiphene, which is a capsule. You could take that how it's prescribed, whether it's once a day, every other day, and that will actually increase your testosterone levels way more than any over-the-counter thing you could buy at a store. How does cow beef taste? I don't know. It must be from another country where they don't have cow beef, but yeah. Oh, from India. Yeah, cow beef is actually really good. For my people in India tuning in, cow beef is very good. In the U.S., it's what a lot of our hamburgers, if you ever see hamburgers or place you go have a burger, it's usually cow meat. Cow meat's like cattle is like our number one red meat source over here in the U.S., so very good. What are you guys eating over there in India? Number one meat source. Funny comments in here. My right look like pec. My right pec tear. What do I do if your right pec is torn? Obviously, rest up. Do what the doctor says. Now, in terms of recovery, our Titan Healing package that we have going on right now, which is BPC-157 and TB-500. It's going on right now. Today is the last day of the sale. I'm not making it up like a salesman. Oh, it's got to be today. It's really today. If you look at all the posts and everything, the last day is to get it. So if you have a torn pec, it's a perfect time to get on the Healing Wolverine package right now. Again, BPC-157 and TB-500 for $500. You're going to save like $100. So that's real cheap for those two, and it's actually going to fix the problem. We're not just going to take your pain away for a couple weeks and make you dependent on it. We're going to fix the problem. So heal up that torn pec a lot faster. Now, it's not going to heal it overnight, but say if your recovery time is ballpark, I'm just saying, say if it's 8 weeks, or just say 10 for number's sake. If it's 10 weeks, this might be good at 4 or 5 weeks. It's going to heal up the process, and it's going to make everything better. On average, when do you think tests get into physical RVs, and is 200 milligrams too much? No, I don't think 200 milligrams is too much. Someone's asking about if it, in other words, is it going to mess up your mind? Because if you take way too much testosterone, you could become like, just too hyper or over aggressive and stuff. Now with HRT, which is the maximum amount is 200 milligrams, whether it's testosterone cypionate or enanthate. With the maximum dosage with that, you're not going to have those problems. You're actually going to feel better. So if you're feeling off, or if you know a guy at the gym that's taking testosterone and he seems a little off in the head, chances are he's taking like way, way too much testosterone, and he's probably taking a whole bunch of other things too. The only reason he's telling you that he's only taking testosterone is because that's what you want to take and you're not taking anything else. I've been in this game a long time. A lot of times people will not tell you what they're taking unless they're taking it too. So 200 milligrams, you're going to feel good. It's going to increase your libido, which is your sex drive. It's going to give you an overall sense of well-being. You're going to have better recovery time. You're going to have a better appetite. You're going to be sleeping better. Obviously, more muscle if you work out. If you don't work out, you'll get stronger and recover too. So even if you don't work out, you take testosterone, you're not going to all of a sudden gain muscles and all this stuff. But your testosterone will go up. You will get stronger. You will feel better. Daniel Broccoli says protein actually comes from plants. That's why herbivores, animals can gain weight like gorillas and elephants. Yeah, I believe it's true for animals, not for humans. Their bodies are completely different than ours. I haven't seen a person out there that's my size or bigger that has only been eating veggies their whole life. Someone's asking, when do you break off gear? Kyle, good question. People that are tuning in, if you hear gear, that usually means performance-enhancing drugs. Sometimes people may consider HRT or other stuff. I don't take a break off of HRT. If you're on HRT, you're intended to stay on it. So a lot of guys say they're on HRT, but they're not. They're just taking a dosage and not actually being monitored. But yeah, if you're doing HRT, you don't necessarily have to take a break, because we're going to be monitoring you throughout the way. And we want to keep your testosterone levels, optimal. So it's good that them to stay optimal, not just be optimal for a couple months and then once you stop using us, they go back to crap. So we like to keep you in check. MJ says he's been on TRT year. I'm not sure what that means. I've been TRT year 17 a day, but they never check blood no more. How can I get blood work with Titan? First of all, MJ, how old are you? I saw 17 year. I'm just seeing if you're 17 years old, I'm not going to talk to you about anything testosterone related. Because at that age, you would never need it. You could need it. You could need it if it was something medical, or if you had illness or something different like that, maybe. But just by yourself, 17 in high school, just decide to grab a bottle of testosterone from some guy somewhere and take it. Nah, you don't need it, man. You don't need it. There's better things you could take than that at that age. Because at that age, your test level's so high, or should be anyways. What you could do is you get your blood work done. If you're 17 years old, you can get your blood work done just to see where you're at. Solomon, what's good? Solomon, what's going on, man? I haven't seen Solomon in a minute. Shout out to my boy Solomon. He works security, executive protection bodyguard, so he's always traveling all over the world, all over the place. I don't know where he's at right now, but yeah. Labs came back. Our red blood cell count is a little high. Do I need to do a blood dump? I would probably just get it rechecked. If your blood count's a little high, could be blood pressure, could be a bunch of different things. Pound the water, lower your sodium. Obviously no processed foods or sugars. Do that for a week or two. Get your blood work done again. If it drops, you may not need the blood dump. What he's referring to when he says blood dump is if people's hemoglobin or blood becomes too thick, they go to a place, whether it's One Blood or lab, anywhere, they just go and they donate blood. When you donate blood, it obviously relieves some of the blood out of your body, so now your blood's thinner, lowers your blood pressure. So if your blood gets too thick, obviously you need to dilute it, and what people do is by dumping, calling it a blood dump or a blood donation. But I wouldn't necessarily go get blood dump right away. I would say that wait a little bit, try to treat it, again, through high water intake, lower your sodium, see where it's at. Or stop whatever you're doing. If you're doing anything outside of Titan stuff that's causing it to blood red cell count to go up, you may want to stop doing that or lower that. and see if that helps, but not necessarily go straight to do a blood dump. How do you maintain estrogen? Kyle's asking, how do you maintain estrogen? Is there as a protocol per milligram of test and nastrozole? No, there isn't a protocol because everything's different. Like, in other words, I may be able to take 200 milligrams testosterone cypionate a week and my estrogen doesn't move. You may take 200 milligrams testosterone cypionate a week and your estrogen may go through the roof. So everyone's different. Now, some people, estrogen gets high, but they don't have the side effects, which is weird. I know someone personally, their estrogen was really, really high. They had no acne. They had no gyno. They had no body fat. They had no, but their estrogen was high. So, again, everyone's different. Again, the blood work's going to show, but there's not a protocol like, okay, if you're taking 200 milligrams of test, you need to be taking 0.25. There's no protocol. Everyone's different. That's why it's dependent. Some people actually don't need a nastrozole when they're taking testosterone. It's very rare, but some people don't need a blocker because their estrogen, it doesn't convert for them. Let's see. Yeah. Got a little battle on here. It's kind of entertaining right now. I'm not going to give out the details, but we got a little battle going. Two of my viewers are going, but not a battle, friendly competition, go back and forth on their views. So I like seeing the different points of it. Talking about plant protein and meat protein and benefits and all that. But I like this little thing we got going on here right now. Any other questions though? We need some questions. I'm going to jump into the first topic, or the only topic I should say. And the reason why I brought this topic up is I'm not going to say, I probably do feel a little bad. I had a conversation with someone the other day, and they were mentioning that how many steps they took on their Apple Watch and all this stuff. And I'm just like, man, these people with these steps, whatever. Yeah, these steps. It doesn't do anything. Just work out, steps. I said, and I kind of made a comment like, yeah, I'm going to walk. I could walk 1,000,000 steps a day. It's not going to do anything. Now, it's almost like karma hit me because right after that, my algorithms, stuff's coming up about steps and this and that. And then when I was searching for topics past couple days, this came up and I read this article and I was like, wow. So yeah, you proved me wrong. You know who you are. The step thing is real. So even though for me, it's not really going to help me, lose weight and all that, in terms of longevity, life longevity, it does help. So scientists say that walking this much could add 11 years to your life. So in other words, just more steps throughout the day is going to add years to your life. And at first I was like, yeah, it's probably because, people that take more steps generally work out. Generally they eat healthier. But no, it didn't really have an effect. Whether people eat healthy, or obviously people that eat healthy, they're going to have other benefits, maybe live longer. But say if you don't eat healthy at all, even walking a certain amount could actually add years to your life, which is, I don't know. I always thought it was more of like a weight loss thing. Like, people want to lose weight, or they want to, because for the most part, the people I know counting their steps are people that want to lose weight. I never really hear people that are in shape say how many steps they got. So I never really saw the correlation. But now I'm like, okay, this has a lot of good points. It says it can add 5 years to your life. It says, just to give you guys some numbers, an additional 111 minutes of walking each day could conceivably experience greater benefits living nearly 11 years longer. So if you walk 111 minutes of walking a day, you could live 11 years longer. Now, 111 minutes, 120 minutes is 2 hours. So you're looking at an hour and, less than 2 hours. An hour and 49 minutes, I believe it is. So if you break that down, say if you break it down into 2-hour increments, if you walk 30 minutes 4 times a day, or 2-hour walks, or just count your steps and see if you're walking that many steps a day, you could literally live 11 years longer, which is crazy. I walk a lot. I live in the city, so a lot of times it's easier to walk than it is to drive. Where I live, everything's set up to walk anyway, so I kind of walk a lot, and I was always wondering how often I walk, like whether it's a block or 2 away to get food or grocery store, whatever. I was kind of wondering how many steps I walk, but I'm actually going to put this to the test. I'm actually going to start counting my steps. But it also says walking is one of the most accessible forms of physical activity with far-reaching benefits. It improves cardiovascular health, lowers blood pressure, and helps maintain healthy weight. It supports mental well-being, reduces stress, and boosts mood. Regular walking even reduces the risk of chronic diabetes, heart disease, and some cancers. So it's not just about losing weight. It's not just about being in shape. It's about, lowering your blood pressure, being in a better mood, cardiovascular health. Now, when I look at the people that I know that walk on a daily basis as to those that just basically sit around and drive everywhere and just walk inside and sit down and walk to their car and sit, they actually do seem like they're in a better mood. Like they're more friendly. They're kind of like out there. It's kind of like they're breathing the air. It just seems like they're more enjoying life, I guess, rather than just going through the motions. And again, like where I said, my neighborhood, everyone's in shape, everyone walks. So it's kind of like I'm kind of immune to people that don't walk. But I like this. This is gonna open up my eyes. A lot of my clients that I have, I don't really recommend walking because it doesn't change the mirror that much for them. So it's not just about changing the mirror. I'm gonna start counting my steps probably tomorrow or the next day. I'm gonna set up my little watch. I don't even know how to do it. Every once in a while, I'll look down and it'll say you walked. I just kind of delete it, yeah, whatever. But I'm actually gonna start seeing how many steps I walk. Now, when people see this and they see 111 minutes of walking each day, they're like, I don't have time to walk, 2 hours every day. That's a lot of walking. But now that's why I recommend counting your steps, because if you count your steps, you could just put your steps into that equation. So if you say, okay, how many steps is in a mile or how many steps in a minute, you could do the math on that and just figure out, okay, today I've been walking for 111 minutes and I didn't even walk anywhere, whether it was just walking to the car, walking into the store, walking into the parking lot to the job, walking over here, walking downstairs in the house, walking across the yard, walking to the edge of the mailbox, walking. So like certain stuff, you may be doing that and not realize it. So if you're doing that and not realize it, you add another 20 minutes, crazy. Or if you have a treadmill, crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing that this week and make sure I'm walking literally this exact number, 111 minutes each day. I'm gonna start tracking it. And again, hopefully I'll boost my mood and all that stuff. I think I'm doing more than that already, to be honest with you. Maybe. Depends. Days I go to the gym, I usually walk longer because I always walk when I get there, to warm up, walk to cool down. So walking is a good thing. It's not just about losing weight. It's about living longer, increasing your well-being, lowering your blood pressure, and helping with diabetes. Many added benefits. There aren't any negative side effects I see to walking, unless you have an injury and bad joints or you're 400 pounds overweight where it's hard to walk. But yeah, walking is always a good thing. I look at countries where people walk the most, they're always in the best shape, and just seems like they're always, doing well. They're still going at it over here. Tank, yeah, he said he's seen us in Tampa. Yes, we're right here in Tampa, Florida. Love Tampa. You gotta love Tampa. Tampa is one of the most booming cities in the country. It's one of the most fastest growing. The weather's perfect. I love the atmosphere. The best fitness scene in the country is Tampa. I put that with anybody. Anybody out there challenged, Tampa is the best fitness city with the most gyms. Now, there may be one big gym in one city somewhere that's huge. No. Tampa has the top fitness competitors, the top gyms. It's booming out here. Kyle McCarn says, I don't know if it's placeable, but my friend noticed hair shedding once he stays on 100 milligrams for 3 months, but I wouldn't necessarily be concerned with hair thinning if you're only doing 180 milligrams of testosterone. Again, there's usually when people are, especially bodybuilders, when they're taking testosterone, they may be taking something else too. That could be causing the hair loss, but testosterone is not like a strong androgen like, masterone or trenbolone or even winstrol, which is stanzolo. It's not strong like that where it's going to cause hair loss at an HRT dose. Yes, Florida sun does have a bite. Gotta love it. I would much rather be sweating than shivering. I would much rather be sweating than shivering. No, I'm not going to do that. Go down a little bit. Why they sense? Yeah, a little bit of crazy questions going on right now. Let's jump into this Titan event that we have going on. But the Titan Healing Stack, last day to get it, BPC-157 and TB-500 Combo. If you guys have joint pain, ligament pain, your knee's been acting up, your back's been acting up, today's the last day to get it. You can save $100. Call 727-389-3220, or you could text that number as well. Text that number if you don't feel like talking. A lot of people just don't feel like dealing with people. I'm one of them. So you text that number, you just do all the texting you need to do. Figure out, if you're already in the system, it's a lot easier process. If you need to fill out the new patient paperwork, just go ahead and do that. It's real easy. Go to the website. Just go to new patient paperwork, whether male or female, fill it out. Once it's done, call us back. Be like, hey, Drew said fill out the paperwork. I just filled it out. I'm interested in this, and then boom. If you're already a patient, you don't need it. But if you're new, it's going to get you in the door a lot quicker. And again, some of the stuff we have here at Titan Medical, you don't need blood work for. So all you have to do is just fill out that paperwork, and you can call and literally just order it. So if you want to know what that is, again, call 727-389-3220 and just ask the lady on the phone, one of the girls that answers, say, hey, what do you guys have that I can get that I don't need blood work for? We have a lot of stuff. So it's not just about blood work. I've seen too many people not use Titan because they want something, and they're like, oh, I thought I need blood work for that. Whether it's Hercules potion or certain stuff. They like, oh, I want Hercules, but I didn't want to pay for the blood work and pay for this and pay for that. Look, you don't need blood work for a lot of stuff. So let's check out these Titan events. We have the Skell Art and Fashion Gala. That's going to be crazy. I'll be walking the runway with my boy Thaddeus will be on there, a.k.a. Titus will be on there. John as well. My boy John's going to be there with Sharice and all the girls. Bunch of new models, bunch of old models. That's going to be December 20th, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Again, it's at where is it going to be at? 905 North Florida Avenue, and I believe I can get the venue for that. I'm see if I can get the Floridian Hotel. I believe it might be at Floridian. Hotel Floor. Okay, so that's going to be 905 Florida Avenue, and that's December 20th. Let me check real quick. It's a black tie event, or like a black tux event. So, but whether you have a black suit, black tux preferable. If not, black suit. I was actually talking with Jason Skelton last night. He said black suit is acceptable as well. So if you got an all black suit, you don't necessarily have to wear a tux. He said you could wear all black suit. Tux are preferable. But just make sure it's mostly black. Don't have all kinds of weird colors with black. Make sure it's mostly black. And shoes, wear what you want. If you want to wear dress shoes, or if you want to wear, some patent leather Jordans that are black, the tuxedo looking ones, that's cool too. Again, he told me this last night, so don't worry about it. As long as you have a black suit, tux preferably, you're good to go. Next one after that is February 8th at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's Cars and Couture. Car show, crazy. It's going to be at the Motor Enclave. The Titan fleet will be out there. It might be the Titan Hellcat. It might be the Titan Lambo. It might be the Titan McLaren. It might be the Titan C8. It might be the new Titan Tesla truck. The Cyber Titan truck is nasty. Lights up on the bottom. Fast as hell. Fast as hell. I actually experienced it the other day, and I couldn't believe the pedal is, if you just tap the pedal, my back was to the seat. So the Titan fleet will be out there. And again, that's February 8th from 6 to 10 at the Enclave. That's all the events we have for now. We'll get some more events coming up. If more events become available, I'll let you guys know. Last question. Sanchito 209, when you spoke about joint pain, what product do you guys have to treat joints? What we have, perfect timing, because today is the last day. If you look on the screen right now, the Wolverine Healing Package is BPC-157 and TB-500. You can save $100 if you call today. So call 727-389-3220, and that is what is going to help your joint pain. Perfect timing, and because you're going to get that $100 off if you call today. This is Big Drew for Titan Lifestyle. I'll be back at 2 p.m. next week. Check me out on my Instagram, Titan's Instagram, Titan's second Instagram, Titan 2.0. Also Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also YouTube. Make sure you hit the bell on YouTube so you're notified of videos just like